Hello everyone. Today in this video, I'll grabbing your attention on Section 9 and Section 10 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Section 9 and Section 10, they are considered as the marital relief under Hindu Marriage Act. Section 9 talks about the restitution of conjugal rights and Section 10 talks about the judicial separation. So let's get started. Hindu law and English common law, they both prescribe a notion that on marriage, husband and wife become one. Hindu law provides that wife is Ardhangini, half of the husband. Apart from divorce, Hindu law has two more remedies available which are mentioned in Section 9 and Section 10. After marriage, it is the duty of both husband and wife to cohabit with each other. Section 10 speaks about the judicial separation. Judicial separation is an order that the petitioner is no longer bound to cohabit with the respondent. A decree of judicial separation does not dissolve the marriage bond, but it merely suspends the marital rights and obligations during the period of subsistence of the decree. Parties continue to be husband and wife. This provision is introduced by the amendment of 1976, which was being done in the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Now we'll be starting with Section 9. Section 9 talks about the restitution of conjugal rights. Basically, the concept of restitution of conjugal rights has been arrived from English law. First, we'll try to understand the literal meaning of the conjugal rights and then we'll see the legal term. So, the literal meaning of conjugal right means the right to stay together. Restitution means restoring something that has been taken from a person unlawfully. Restitution of conjugal right means the restoration of cohabitation and conjugal relations between husband and wife by way of legal interference. See, Section 9 is being placed against any of the married partners in the event of the said partner staying away from the party without the proper reason, or we can say without a reasonable excuse. In this case, the court under Section 9, it gives an order to stay together or cohabit with each other. This is the basic meaning of Section 9. And I would like to say that a restitution petition under Section 9 is considered as the last thread to save the marriage before its final breakdown. Now we'll see some essential conditions for granting restitution of conjugal rights. The first condition, that the respondent has withdrawn from the society of the petitioner. It means that any of the partner would refuse to stay together physically or would refuse to follow the marital obligations. The second condition is that withdrawal is without any reasonable excuse. Third is that the court is satisfied about the truth of statement made in such petition. The fourth is that there is no legal ground why relief should be granted. So these four conditions should be satisfied for the restitution. Now we'll understand what were the conflicts raised regarding Section 9. See, as a lawyer, we stand before our colleague. One is right, one is wrong. This what goes in our lawyer's life. Same case we'll consider here. Some lawyers said that the right to life and right to privacy and right to equality has been misused and it violates the fundamental rights and therefore Section 9 should be declared unconstitutional. We'll understand this by a case law. See, in a case of T. Sarita versus T. Venkata Subbai, 1983, it was argued before the court that provision was against the individual's fundamental right to liberty, to privacy, to dignity, which is guaranteed by Article 21 of the Constitution. The decree compelled an unwilling wife to have a sexual intercourse with a husband which violates her bodily autonomy. Hence, by observing this, the court thereby struck down Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act, declaring it to be violative of Article 14 and Article 21 of the Constitution. Now again the court in the case of Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan Kumar Chadda, 1984, they resolved the conflict saying that Section 9 talks about the married couple to cohabit with each other. To cohabit means not to force an unwilling wife. See, not to force an unwilling wife to engage in sexual relation with the husband. It only means to live together as a husband and wife. So in this case, Section 9 was given the constitutional validity by Supreme Court of India. So I hope now you're clear and would be having a transparent idea regarding Section 9. Now we'll proceed with section 10, that is the judicial separation. A decree for judicial separation does not have the effect of terminating the marriage. Judicial separation is a legal separation which permits the parties to marriage to live apart. The decree of judicial separation suspends certain marital rights and obligations. Now the question must be, how judicial separation is being done, or on what grounds the judicial separation has been done? Because as we all know grounds of divorce, but grounds of judicial separation we don't know. So please see under section 10, all fault grounds for divorce are also grounds of judicial separation. But there are some exceptions on which judicial separation cannot be filed. If a petition for divorce is filed on a ground of change of religion, renunciation of world, or presumption of death, the court has no power to pass a decree of judicial separation in the place of decree of divorce. This is all about the judicial separation. But there is an alternative remedy under section 13 clause 1a, which is also an amendment of the year 1976. Under this amendment, if either of a party to a marriage does not cohabitate for a period of 1 year after the decree of judicial separation, then either party may seek divorce. We'll understand this with the help of a case law. See, in a case of Narsimha Reddy versus Busama, the court held that passing of a decree of judicial separation, it does not end or it do not end the marital status of the parties. It suspends some matrimonial rights and duties. Parties are not allowed to remarry. Now we'll focus on some important points. Please do listen carefully. At the time of implication of section 9, that is the restitution of conjugal rights, it provides an opportunity to an aggrieved party that they can claim for maintenance under section 25 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Secondly, judicial separation is a judgment in rem, that is a general judgment, and will remain operative till it is rescinded. Thirdly, section 18 clause 2 of Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956, a Hindu wife may on certain grounds leave separate and claim maintenance from her husband. There are some of the important points to be remembered, which we saw above. So now I hope you're crystal clear with section 9 and section 10. If you have any question or queries regarding the same, you can comment in the comment box given below. Thank you.